The Nexus Academy floated in the void between star systems, a diplomatic masterpiece where the galaxy's brightest youth gathered to learn unity among the stars. Here species from 1,000 worlds mingled in corridors of crystalline light, their forms as varied as the cosmos itself. Some floated on anti-grav fields, others skittered on 6 legs, and a few existed as sentient clouds of bioluminescent gas. Among them walked 2 humans, Elsa. Martinez moved through the crowded cafeteria with the unconscious grace of someone who'd grown up in Earth's punishing gravity. Her dark hair was pulled back in a practical ponytail, and her brown eyes scanned the room with quiet alertness. She carried her tray of nutrition paste, the only food the Academy could guarantee wouldn't poison at least someone, toward the human section. Leo Chen was already there, sprawled in his seat with the lazy confidence that irritated half their alien classmates. He waved when he saw her, his grin bright against his tan skin. "Saved you a spot," he called out in English, a language that sounded harsh and aggressive to most species. The nearby Veltorians, delicate beings of gossamer wings and hollow bones, flinched at the volume. Elsa slid into her seat. "You know they hate it when we're loud." "They hate everything about us," Leo shrugged, spooning the tasteless paste into his mouth. "We're too dense, too violent, too emotional." He said the last word in a mocking tone that perfectly mimicked their instructor Velnash. It was true. 3 months into their exchange program, and the humans had become something of a curiosity and a concern. Earth, they'd learned, was classified as a Class 12 Deathworld, a planet so hostile that only 0.001% of known species could survive there unassisted. High gravity, aggressive megafauna, toxic flora, extreme weather, and a dizzying array of diseases made it a nightmare. And humans had not just survived, they'd thrived. They'd conquered it. The galaxy didn't know what to make of them. "Did you finish the xenobiology assignment?" Elsa asked, trying to change the subject barely. "Turns out most species find our immune system horrifyingly aggressive. Apparently, having white blood cells that literally eat invaders is considered." A shadow fell across their table. Kraven loomed over them, all 7 feet of chitinous plating and mandibles. He was a Kreshtar, from a high-gravity world that made them the closest thing to human physicality in the Academy. It also made Kraven arrogant. He'd spent weeks establishing himself as the Academy's enforcer, intimidating smaller species and taking what he wanted. He'd been eyeing the humans with increasing interest. "Deathworlders," Kraven clicked, his translator rendering the word with unmistakable contempt. "I hear your species bleeds red, soft, oxygen-carrying hemoglobin instead of proper copper-based blood. How do you survive?" Leo's hand moved subtly, ready to stand. Elsa touched his wrist, a gentle warning. "We survive just fine," she said calmly. "Is there something you need?" Kraven's mandibles split into what his species considered a grin. "I need to test something. They say humans are warriors, but you look so small." His massive claw shot out faster than most species could see. A casual slap meant to send her sprawling, a dominance display he'd used dozens of times. It was a joke to him, a test. His exoskeleton-plated hand connected with Elsa's shoulder. What happened next took 1.3 seconds. Elsa's body, forged in Earth's crushing gravity, barely rocked from the impact that would have hospitalized a Veltorian. Her hand snapped up, catching Kraven's wrist with a grip strengthened by climbing, running, and simply existing on a world that tried to kill its inhabitants daily. She twisted, using leverage and momentum that her ancestors had learned hunting megafauna across African plains. Kraven's eyes widened in shock as he felt himself pulled off balance. Impossible. His mass was. Elsa's other palm drove into his thorax with precise force. Not a wild swing, but a calculated strike targeting the weak point between carapace plates. The impact resonated through the cafeteria like a crack of thunder. Kraven's exoskeleton fractured. The Kreshtar collapsed, gasping as his biology struggled with sensations it had never experienced. 3 ribs, structural supports that had evolved under crushing gravity, had broken. Broken from a creature half his size. The cafeteria fell silent. Elsa stood over him, breathing steady, her expression carved from stone. When she spoke, her voice carried across the frozen crowd with deadly clarity. "We don't joke." Leo was beside her now, and the other students saw something in his eyes that made them take an involuntary step back. Not anger, something colder. The look of a predator deciding whether the hunt was worth it. On Earth, Elsa continued, looking down at Craven's wheezing form. We have a saying. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. You put your hands on me as a test? Here's your result. She turned to address the gathered crowd, representing hundreds of species who'd viewed humans as curiosities, as primitives from a savage world who'd somehow achieved spaceflight. We come from a planet where the weather can kill you, where the insects carry diseases that dissolve your organs, where the water itself can harbor parasites that eat you from the inside. We evolved alongside apex predators, creatures that could tear us apart, and we didn't just survive them. We domesticated them. We made them love us. Her voice never rose, never cracked. It simply stated facts. Our planet tried to kill us every single day in 1,000 different ways. It made us strong. It made us resilient. It made us dangerous. She glanced back at Craven, and it taught us that violence isn't a joke. It's a tool, and we know exactly how to use it. Medical drones were arriving now, scanning Craven with chirps of alarm. Internal fractures. Bruised organs. From a single strike. Instructor Velnash floated forward, his gaseous form rippling with distress. Elsa Martinez, this is self-defense, Leo cut in, his voice sharp. Every sensor in this room recorded it. He struck first. The instructor's bioluminescence flickered, the equivalent of a troubled sigh. He'd reviewed human history during the hyperspace journey. The wars, the survival, the sheer stubborn refusal to give up. He'd thought it was exaggeration. Propaganda from a primitive world trying to seem impressive. He saw now it was simply the truth. Craven will be taken to Medical Bay, Velnash said finally. Elsa, Leo, come with me. As they walked through the parting crowd, Elsa caught whispers in a dozen languages, all saying variations of the same thing. Deathworlders, warriors, dangerous. She didn't smile, didn't acknowledge them, but inside she felt something settle into place. Respect, finally. Not fear, she didn't want that, but understanding. Humanity had earned its place among the stars not despite where they came from, but because of it, and the galaxy was just beginning to understand what that meant.